Welcome back, everybody, to Bloomfield, Canada. As I'm sure you can tell if you look in the upper right, we are a lot further along in the months than when I left you. Ironically, I am still on our field, but this is actually the second cut we've gotten from this field. I had planned to bring you back actually yesterday in September 1, and had the entire video recorded. When I went to edit it, I did not have any sound on for whatever reason. So, obviously, I didn't want to put out a video that had absolutely no sound on it. So, I just tried to catch you up on kind of what happened and where we kind of are. So, from the last episode, I decided to just keep going forward with contracts in between episodes. That way you wouldn't have to kind of see more of the same. And my goal was to get to the point of buying the farm over there, which I had intended to show you in the last episode that I recorded that had no sound. So I do have that purchase now, and now I'm just kind of finishing up with some of the baling on this field. The first time we cut this, we got, I believe it was 96 off of this field alone. So it was a little bit over 100 with the other field added onto it. So we're going to have a lot of silage to sell this December, which should make us a pretty good, decent amount of cash to start buying some other equipment. I actually already bought, and I'm going to take a quick pause to show you. Here we go. So I already bought a tedder. It's over at the store. It's a pretty big one, but I figured we would need a pretty big one. And then I also bought something to haul around the milk to start selling at once we get cows. I have a list of some things I want to get before I get the cows, and those were two of them. Oh, and I also bought the animal transport. Not sell that. So that unfortunately is kind of a smaller one. To get the bigger one, you need a truck. I don't really have the funds to buy a truck right now. So I'll have to make a few extra trips with this, but carrying 6 at a time should be okay to start out. The other two things I want to, or not two things, but the other few things I want to buy, actually I guess it is two things: TMR mixer and a telehandler. And the telehandler is just to pick up the bales to put in the mixer. But since we don't have any way to, I don't have like a forage pickup to pick up the loose silage or anything yet. So I think I'm just going to get a telehandler and kind of drop it in from the top. The TMR mixer is definitely going to be a lot of money because I do want to wait to get the big one. I don't really want to settle for a smaller one for now. I'm hoping all this silage should get us pretty close. But yeah, we'll see when we get there. Finish this pass and then I'll go show you some things. Since this land in front of me is now mine, or ours. Pop that real quick. So there was a few cleanup things I did. I kept this. This is kind of where I'm going to keep the bulk. Hay on one side, silage on the other. Probably. I might not need the silage if I end up putting it in the bunker over there at the BGA. So this came with it, large gas tank. I already bought a little bit of gas for that. There were two silos here. You can kind of see where they potentially were kind of sketched out. But they're the silos that need an auger to go to use them, and I don't really like those kind. So I'm probably going to put up my own. I was probably going to put it back in this area. There was a little unusable building here that I kind of, it was just kind of in this box right here that I sold just for a few $1,000s. It wasn't too much. And then there was another building similar to that. Is it back here? I don't remember exactly where it was. It might have been back there where those weeds are, actually. But yeah, it was just probably maybe $8,000 total or something like that. So I sold those two. This house over here is now ours. I'm going to keep this building here. I'm not exactly sure what I want to put in this open area yet. But eventually I do kind of want to get rid of a few of these trees. Just because, opening these like 3 or 4 trees up would make it a lot easier to drive back and forth in our area. So, yeah, so this is now the new house, new sleep trigger. So yeah, very excited by this. It took a lot of work. Ooh, speaking of, I didn't see this before. Extra $2,000. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, what I was saying is, it took a lot of work, a lot of contracts to get there. But I'm very happy to finally get to this point. I feel like it's a big kind of turning point for the series, and once we sell all this silage off, I think we'll be in a really good place. We can finally get the cows, and then we can use the silage from this field as well as the milk from the cows to start making some money, buying some more land, getting a harvester. I mean, there's still a lot of different stuff I want to buy. But I think after the cows, I'll probably prioritize getting a harvester and a seeder. Because as of now, I actually don't have any straw for the cows because I don't have any, wheat fields or anything. So I'm probably going to have to buy a little bit of straw at the beginning, just to make sure that they're happy with that and making manure, and we're not wasting any potential, byproducts from them. But that will be the priority after the cows is to get something to put just a grain field, so we can buy another field, put a grain field in, and be able to harvest it. I think I might have mentioned this before. It might have been in the episode that is not recorded, but in terms of contracts, I'm still probably going to keep doing contracts through the end of this year pretty heavily. I mean, even as of now, it's a decent amount of contracts, but even though I could potentially do the sowing ones, none of these harvesting ones I think are really big enough to be worth it. Field 2 is just really far away. So I think I'm going to hold off for this month. Next month we should start to get some soybean and corn fields, so potentially some cotton fields. So we can do a few of those to make some money. And then once we get into the winter and into next year, the contracts will be a little bit more far between. I really only do the ones that, if I have something I'm doing on my part of the farm, if I can kind of have a contract or two going at the same time, it's probably when I'll pick those up and do that for maybe 1 or 2 years. And then from then on, I'm probably not going to do contracts at all at that point. I know it's kind of easy money, but I feel like at some point I always, in a series, I always like to kind of stop with the contracts, and just kind of focus on what we're working on, the main farm and all that. So overshoot just a little bit, picking up this grass. So it's September now. I think this takes 2 months, maybe 3 months to ferment. So even if it's 3 months, we should have it in time for selling off in December. The grass we'll be able to cut it in November, but we won't have the third stage. So I think I'm just going to wait till the spring to get the next cut in. Once I'm done with this field, I actually haven't even started the small field, so I'm going to have to go get that cut. Just in case I have enough money over the winter to start with cows, I think I actually might ted that field to get a little bit of hay. That way, if I do want to kind of buy the cows, start getting them, so they're aging and things as early as possible, I could start just, feeding them hay just to start off with instead of TMR. Or I could even maybe save a few of these. I don't think a few would, break the bank too much to actually make some TMR. Because if I make all that other field into hay field or hay bales, I should get about 5 or 6. I actually don't know if I can use this baler to make hay bales. I don't know if it automatically senses that it's not grass and it's hay, and it doesn't wrap it. I guess we'll have to see. I would assume that that's what it would do. It wouldn't be the worst in the world if it ends up wrapping it for the test, but I think that should work. Because I know in the past, in some other balers, they can go up to 180 centimeters. Centimeters? No. Centimeters. Millimeters, that'd be really small. So yeah, some of the other balers go up to 180 millimeters, which even if it has a wrapper attached to it, it can't wrap that big of a bale. So usually if I want like a grass bale or a hay bale, with those other balers are just go up to the 180, so it automatically wouldn't. But yeah, I don't know if that would work for this baler. And this baler doesn't go to 180, but we'll have to see when we get over there. I think in terms of the field I want to buy for the potential wheat field, I'm probably just going to buy that one over there. That was the field 49. Just because it's kind of like more directly part of my farm, and then this field 51 will be the one after that. The one thing, I think I mentioned this probably quite a few episodes ago, in terms of one of the products that the milk can make at the dairy is chocolate, and you need sugar for that. My plan was to do sugar cane. Don't know exactly what field I want to do it on. I do want it to be relatively close, but also relatively small. I don't think we're going to need a lot. I could do it over there, like field 55. Or I could even do it as like field 48 and even cut up a portion of it out to build the sugar mill over there. That way everything's like super close. And just kind of, shrink field 48 a little bit to build that kind of stuff. But ultimately, everything will be so close it should be fine. And then we can kind of just keep the equipment for that over there. Because once you plant sugarcane, you don't have to plant it again. So the unfortunate thing with having to buy everything is I will have to buy the sugarcane planter for essentially one use. So that'll be kind of annoying, but these are the rules I set, so this is what we're gonna do. All right, baling's finished. I think I'm just gonna leave the bales here for now. They're not going anywhere. They're not gonna hinder the grass. We're not gonna harvest the grass again this season anyways, so I have plenty of time to get more fertilizer on. I really need to clean that weeder. It's really white. Let's see. I think I brought the mower over. Let me just turn around, put my weight down. Head on over and see if I can find the mower. Alright, so the mower was over here, so you can see him getting going on cutting this small field. I definitely need to upgrade this mower. When I mowed the bigger field, I always did it while I was doing like a whole bunch of other contracts, so I kind of just put a worker on it. But if I had to mow that by hand myself, it took the worker a very long time to do it, so it would be kind of annoying having to do that every time with this super small just front mower. It is a Pottinger, so I think it was, yeah, Pottinger. And there is a Pottinger that kind of goes with it. Let's see, mowers, yeah, 75,000. So it is not on my list to buy, but I think it's probably worth adding. So I think we're going to add that to the list as well. And I might actually add that first, just because I really think it's necessary for even before we have the cows. So yeah, I think that'll probably be our next purchase. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to get this mowed up. That's a little weird glitch there. Yeah, I'm going to get this mowed up, head over to the store where my tedder is sitting, and while I'm over there, I should have plenty of money to refill this with some gas, fix it up a little bit. It's pretty green from all the grass work that I've been doing, but maybe I'll give it a quick wash with the mower once I'm done here. Yeah, and like I said, try out the baler, see if we can make some hay from it, and put that aside for cows we're gonna have hopefully this winter. I think I'm gonna, as soon as I can get the cows, I'm gonna try to, just because, like I mentioned before, I want them to, start aging as fast as possible. I do think I'm going to sell them off. I think it's around 36 months. They do kind of cap out. I forget what the price is for dairy cows, but they do have a price that they kind of cap out at before the 36 months. But 36 months is right before they start going back down in terms of price. So if you kind of keep them to 36 months, you get the most. You get to use them for all the milk that they can provide, and then sell them off before their price goes down too much, if at all. So you kind of get the best of both. You get the most milk out of them, and then the most the best price to sell them off at. So that's what my plan to do with them is, and probably going to start off with some pretty mature cows, just so we can start getting them reproducing as quickly as possible, rather than starting from baby cows that have to grow up first and then reproduce after that. So I think that'll be the quickest route to making some good money. And then, you know, once we get the cows, we'll probably just get rid of this field. Or just go into the landscaper and put some generic grass over it. And then I think this is where we're going to put our production chains. I tested it before. I think I should. I'm not sure. 100% sure. I feel like it's been so long since I've recorded an episode, since I had so much offline playing in between. But I should be able to fit all 3 production chains here. So it'll be the dairy. I'm not going to use the one on the map because I just feel it's too far away. So it'll be the dairy, the ice cream shop, and the what's it called? The one that has the different types of milk. Those should all fit in this area. And that way it's kind of close to the farm, with only kind of this, you know, these trees in the way, which I also mentioned I'm considering still getting rid of. If we end up buying some things to get rid of those few trees that are on the farm that are definitely in the way, I think I would definitely try to clear a path through here just to kind of, you know, make a nice shortcut. Alright, so I'm done with the tedding and the windrowing. Now I just gotta try out this baler, see if it works the way I want to. Oh, the first one's probably gonna be grass. It's so full. Lowered. Nope, I'm on weight. Lower that. Yep, the first one's gonna be grass. That's okay. Perfectly fine with me. Let's see if the second one will be hay. And don't wrap it. Yep, perfect. Nice. That is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get some, probably like 5-ish hay bales from this. That should be enough to kind of get going on some cows. I don't think I'm gonna get too many to start. Pick up 6 at a time with the animal trailer. So I'm thinking maybe just 12. Maybe just 12 to start out. And kind of let them go from there. And I can always buy some more if it ends up not being really enough. Or if I end up having more feed than, you know, more feed than I know what to do with. But I don't want to start off too much and then, you know, not be able to feed them. I mean, with that big grass field, we should definitely have enough for as many cows as I want. But I do want to use most of that silage to sell, not have to, you know, resort to giving it to them for feed. So let's see, that was 3. 3 so far. Maybe more than 5. It's number 4. Definitely more than 5. As you can see, it started raining as I was kind of working in this field. Luckily, it doesn't really do anything to the hay. It's kind of ironic to be tedding grass in the rain. It's kind of, you know, not something you would ever do in real farming, but in this game it doesn't really matter, so we're gonna go with it. Curved around a lot right here. right now. So now that we have that house, I could probably sell off that tent over there. Since why would we sleep in a small cramped tent when we have a nice huge house? When you think about it, it was quite cheap of land, especially with a house on it too. All those buildings, the cow pen, and a house, not too bad of a price up here in Bloomfield. Alright, looks like I'm going to get one more. Also pick up this extra. And then whether this extra is used for a hay bale at the beginning of the next harvest or silage bale, either way, use it. So I'm not going to worry about getting every little piece, just kind of some of this stuff. All right, that up. Actually, I'm going to just leave this here for now. Grab this thing that I just left in the cotton field. Sorry, whoever owns this field. Driving all over your cotton. I might be harvesting it for you next month. We'll see. Alright, let's pick up this one silage bale. I'm curious. Alright, so that one is silage. I think it's been in there a while. This one's fermenting 0%. Makes sense because we just did it. I think I've been going kind of this way now, back to the farm. To get to the fields, I feel like this way is a little bit faster. The more and more I do this, the more I think I'm sure I'm gonna cut a nice hole through that, through those trees. I mean, I guess all that'll be over there won't be a field; it'll be just the production trees. But it'll still be kind of nice to have access to those, since it's literally just right there. I wouldn't have to do too much, depending on where I want to do it. I don't know if I would do it over here because that's a little bit more work, a little more trees to take down. But overdoing it. There we go. All right, nice big field of bales, picking up in the rain. Eventually go make some money. Things are looking up. With that, I think we're just about at time. I think I'm going to put a cut in there, and if I don't knock them all over the place, get these bales picked up in between episodes, and next month we'll be back to contracts, but I don't think I'm going to wait so long in between episodes to bring you back. I'll probably just pick these up and bring you back in when I'm doing an interesting contract in the next month. Yeah, and go from there. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you join me again next time. Have a good one.